Hello YouTube! Today we're going to be unboxing the Samsung Galaxy M35 5G. Now, I learned something interesting with this phone. Apparently, in the Galaxy series phones, the letters mean something. In the Samsung Galaxy S series, like the S6, or a much more modern example would be the S24 Ultra, the S stands for super smart devices at the pinnacle portfolio, the flagship devices. For the Samsung A series, which is the mid-tier line that people get when they don't want to pay the big bucks for an S, A stands for awesome. The A series is much less expensive than the S series. But apparently, Samsung makes an M series that I didn't even know existed. So we're going to unbox this, take a look at it. Apparently, M stands for monster. Now, one thing I noticed immediately with the size of this box is it is pretty much the exact same size as an iPhone box. And then both boxes are together are the same size as a Motorola box, because Motorola has just chonky boxes. They include everything in there. You get a case, screen protector, charger, more than you could ever need. All right, let's go ahead and open this thing up. Wow, that is as minimalistic as you can get. There is not even a charging cord. Wait a second. Aha! They fooled me. They fooled me. I was like, there it is. There's the SIM card. Aha! We have the paperwork and the USB-C cable. For a second, I thought it was the phone in the box, and that was it. Alright, so here's the phone. Oh, nice. Wow. Got a glossy back. Well, actually, that's weird. It's a little bit glossy, but it's also a little bit matte. It's got a little sheen, but it's not a huge fingerprint magnet, so that's really nice. I do like that. It has 3 cameras: the standard wide angle, an ultra wide, and a macro camera. The Samsung Galaxy M35 is very similar to the A35. They both have a 6.6-inch screen, but the M35 is thicker, and that's because it has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Here's the SIM card slot. It has room for a SIM card and a second SIM card or a micro SD card. I kind of like that sort of slot. It does not have a gasket on the SIM tray, so I don't think that the M35 has any waterproofing rating. Alright, so we're in. Look at that. The background screen is just an upside down background screen of the box art. The Samsung Galaxy M series, M standing for monster. Samsung advertisement for this phone is everything about it is a monster. We have M35 must be a monster. It has corner Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, which is actually kind of impressive. That's a very nice glass for a mid-tier phone. But if we want to get into the nitty-gritty, we have all these details. We have the lag-free monster. So this is actually really cool. Not very many phones have a vapor chamber in them. This helps improve cooling and increases performance so that the CPU and GPU can run for longer without thermal throttling. We have a durable monster, with Gorilla Glass Victus having 4 times better scratch resistance and 6-foot fall endurance. This is also a feature kind of unique to the mid-tier phones. Most of them do not go up to 1,000 nits of brightness, and usually have a screen with a 90 Hz refresh rate. This is the killer right here. The reason that the M35 is the monster Galaxy, because it has a massive 6,000 milliamp hour battery. It says a battery that lasts 2 days. If you're doing nothing but listening to music, though, this is crazy. 97 hours of music. That's more than 4 days. Like, if you just start playing music and then you just set the phone to the side and just listen to music for all day and all night and all the next day and all the next night and all the next day and all the next night, then you still can do it for one more day and one more night. So that's crazy. But other things like video playback over an entire day, you can do a movie marathon for a day into the next, and then making phone calls. You can talk to your friends and family forever, literally. It has an octa-core, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, Exynos processor, which stays cooler and runs faster because of that vapor chamber. Got 3 cameras. The 50 megapixel main sensor has optical image stabilizer. This is becoming more common in the mid-tier phones. It used to be only flagship phones had optical image stabilizer, and mid-tier and budget phones never did. But now we're starting to see optical image stabilization in the mid-tier phones, which is very nice because OIS really improves photo quality, especially in low light, just by reducing shakiness and blur in the photos. Payment monster. I don't really get how this is a monster, but you gotta stick with the monster theme because it's a monster phone. Storage monster. Oh, okay, so this is cool. So while you can get these with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, mine has 128 gigabytes, which is kind of sad. But that's not uncommon for the mid-tier phone. In fact, the $1,000 iPhone 15 Pro comes with a 128 gigabyte storage option as well. And it has 6 gigs of memory, which is the same as the iPhone 14 Pro Max, so that's something. It also has what Samsung calls RAM Plus, which you can use an additional 2, 4, or 6 gigs of storage as virtual memory to allow more apps to stay open in the background, effectively giving it almost 12 gigs of RAM. You can add a terabyte of SD card storage too. That's something you can't do with the iPhone 14 Pro or the iPhone 15 Pro. Ooh, upgrade monster. 4 generations of OS updates and 5 years of security updates. That is really good for the mid-tier phone. Most mid-tier phones do not get that kind of security support. The show-stopping monster. You got 3 different colors: silver, light blue, dark blue, but they call it thunder gray, daybreak blue, and moonlight blue. So better stop them shows. Security monster has the built-in Knox Samsung security system. I don't know much about Knox, but down here it says image simulated for representational purposes only. So I don't think the Knox is an actual like force field box around the processor, but it still looks cool because it's a monster. Oh, sharing monster. You can use quick share to share. Audio monster. Ooh, that is something we should test. Let's get on YouTube here real quickly. Let's try it out with a video from this guy. What a weirdo. Hello YouTube. With my most recent Motorola Edge 50 Ultra video, I wanted to do 4 videos talking about the 4 reasons I recommended it. Number 1, charging. Number 2, design and build quality. Number 3, AI focus. And number 4, privacy. I was going... It does have stereo sound. It has a bottom firing speaker right here. And then it uses the earpiece speaker as the top firing speaker. So it has 1 forward facing and 1 downward facing speaker. A couple things that I wanted to look at before we wrap this video up. is the Galaxy M35 spec-wise is very similar to the A35, with the most notable difference being that 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, while the A35 is $400 on Samsung's website, and you can find it on Amazon for $350, the M35, even though it has a better battery, seems to go for around $300. The Motorola G84 is now available on Amazon for $220. Right off the bat, the most notable difference is the weight. The G84 is much narrower, and it's got tapered bezels at all the ends, so when you're holding it, it feels even thinner. This one feels pretty chunky. It's just like the iPhone. This flat edge. Apparently, this is the way of the future. But I prefer comfortable grip in the hands. I prefer something easy to hold. I don't know why people like blocky, chunky phones. I don't know why that's considered the future. The Motorola screen is 1/10 of an inch smaller, but the phone is shorter and narrower because it does not have as big of bezels. So one of the nice things with this particular design is the M35 has even bezels all the way around. The chin is the same as the side, which is same as the top, which is same as the other side. And same goes for the Motorola. The chins and sides and top all have the same thickness of bezels. It makes the phone look far more premium if you don't have a chunky bottom bezel and top bezel. I don't know how much more it costs to make a phone with even bezels all the way around, but it definitely gives it a more premium look. However, the M35 does have slightly thicker bezels than the G84 does. They both have OLED screens, the M35 having a max brightness of 1000 nits and the G84 having a max brightness of 1300 nits. Both of them are 120 Hz refresh rates. The Motorola does not have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. It has a much older Gorilla Glass, like 3. The G84 does have a seal around the SIM card tray and has an IP rating of 54. So I don't know what IP rated this is, but probably less than 54. It did not say on Samsung's website. They both have octa-core processors. The Exynos 1380 is rated 6 points higher than the Snapdragon 695, so it's a little bit better performing processor. Both of them still get a B rating by Nano Review. The Exynos benchmarks a little bit better, but for day-to-day use, I've been using this phone for 5 months. I haven't noticed it being slow at all. The Snapdragon 695 is more energy efficient. So the 5000 milliamp hour battery in this phone that is 60 grams lighter, which is pretty much 2 ounces, might actually outperform the 6000 milliamp hour battery in this phone as endurance goes. The Galaxy has a fingerprint reader here on the power button, and the Motorola has the under display fingerprint sensor, which is very fast. Look how quick that was. It's very premium. It gives it a very flagship phone sort of feel, especially for $220. Probably the fastest fingerprint sensor in its class. It works all the time when the screen's on and the screen's off. So you can wake up the phone with the fingerprint sensor. You don't even have to push the power button. Just tap the screen right down here. It does charge faster. It charges at 30 watts. This one charges at 25, which is really close to the same. However, with the smaller battery, you're going to get that full day charge much faster at 30 watts. Oh, yes. Storage. The G84 comes with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. The M35, this one comes with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. A more expensive model can come up to 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. And while you can RAM boost this using internal storage up to 12 gigs, both phones are equipped with LPDDR4X type RAM, and the extra 4 gigs of DDR4 will always be much faster than the UFS 2.2 storage that is being used as RAM. When we started this video, the battery was at 45%. And with the phone sitting at max brightness, it has gone from 45% down to 39%, which is a 6% in the time of this video. The G84 was at 81% when I started this video, and with this one at max brightness for the duration of the video, it is at 80%. So I don't know what that says for battery life, but that does say something for this initial video. So that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is.